I've come back to my friend Jonas's place to pick up some of the firewood I made during this season for the Axe Cordwood challenge. I also brought my fiancé and our son, so we're gonna take a trip in the woods to look for some mushrooms later as well. My plan is to restack this firewood at home, along with all the other firewood I've made. Some of it from here, but most of it from around our own house. And see how much I managed to gather using only axes this season. And if you haven't already seen all or some of them, I have quite a few videos on the channel from when I felled the trees and cut the firewood. So you can always go back later and look at those. And by all means, do feel free to subscribe to my channel to help me out. I really appreciate it a lot.
Ja, vad är det för något? Spännande. Ja. Ska vi gå och kolla vad pappa gör? Jag ska testa den lilla bär. Ja, du tänkte på den. Och så slänger du in den. Bra! Tjo! Så. Tillbaks. Hämta mer. Ja!
That's the first stop of 3. Inte äta den. Nej, inte äta den. This is a prototype of a firewood carrier I made just before we left. Some tent fabric we had laying around. It's gonna have to do for a test. I'll draw whatever conclusions from this that I can and make a better one that looks a bit nicer later. This will be a good test of the concept, I hope. Well, Beatrice thought it was a bit on the small side. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll see. Beatrice stands by what she said about the size of this, and I don't disagree, but perhaps it would be good to have both a smaller and a bigger one, depending on how much you want to carry or how heavy it is. This is just pine, so it weighs almost nothing, but I think I will make another one that's bigger and see how that works.
Oj, kotte! Kotte, pinne, löv. Vad är din stora sten då? Nej. Ja. Det där är kameran. Sen ska man helst låta som att man inte finns. Wow! Det är någon där. Okej, den är rolig att kasta nu. Han har kastat kotte och sten också. Ja, vad gör pappa? Tar han veden? Ja. Det är svårt att måla med den. Det är bättre med pinnen. Men den där kommer vara jättesvårt att göra med.
Hej. Här. That's my little pine wood stack. I have one more stack laying here waiting. That's a bit bigger. I'm not sure if I can fit it all in the van. Maybe I have to come back for a second time, because we have a bed inside of the car. It's also a camping car, not just a work car and a family car. So that makes for some compromises. I'm gonna have a look at that pile and see how big it actually is. I sort of forgotten, I haven't been here in a while. It's a mix of birch and goat willow. And I think those two piles together are more than what I put in the car already. Maybe I have to come back another day to pick this up. We'll think about that when we go looking for mushrooms, I think.
På mig. Så vi ska väl gå vidare.
Hej älskling, har du vaknat? För dig. Det var så gott.
Oj, jag la sådär istället för att ha med den här glasburken. Jag vet inte varför jag slänger det här i så. Så, titta. Här är dina bitar. Varsågod. Ja. Det gick inte.
Kaffe. Det får inte du. Nej.
Här ser du. Den du. Vilken grej. Va? Grej. Kolla här. Det är lite bananpannkaka.
This firewood is easier to stack since I cut it from larger diameter trees, and it's better split than a lot of the goat willow I stacked before just next to it. So it's easier to make a stable stack on top of the pallets with these. Then again, I'm cross-stacking it for stability. The lengths vary a bit. And I try to put the shorter ones in the middle of the stack and the longer pieces out on the edges, especially on the corners. But I'm not that scientific about it. I just try not to let it take up too much of my time. I have a few extra long pieces here that I used for stability when I stacked it along the gravel road at Jonas's place where I fetched the firewood. I guess I'm gonna use them here as well to keep the stack stable. I can always cut them up later when I bring them inside the house. Originally I had some sort of idea to stack different species separately to see how much I cut from each one of them, but I don't think that's obtainable really, because I don't have that much pine and that stack is really not that big yet, so I need to continue building it up. Most of what I have in the wagon here now is birch, and there's goat willow in the stack behind, and there will be more goat willow coming from Jonas's place. So I guess I will try to put them in layers at least, and have a little bit of general idea of how much I have from each one of them. I don't really know if I will benefit from doing that, but just something that interests me. Right away that principle goes out the window, because now I'm putting the birch on top of the pine, and I still have some pine in the bottom of the trolley. So yeah, let's not bother with it, shall we? Just stack it and be happy. I must say, I usually enjoy stacking birch. It's a pretty dense species that splits nice too, so the logs stay where you put them, and it's easy to obtain flat split surfaces, so they lay in a good manner. And there's some of the leftover pine I have in the bottom of the trolley. Let's just put it in here, shall we? As a general principle, it is not a bad thing mixing wood species. Heavier things like birch, which is the most common species for firewood in our region of the world anyway. If you mix that with pine and spruce, then you get good combustion in the fireplace. Pine on its own will burn hot and fast, but it will burn out quickly as well. Birch on its own can sometimes tend not to burn that well, but just turning into ember, and that creates a lot of gases you don't want slipping out into living quarters. Carbon monoxide, I think it is. I don't know what you call it in English. Even in winter times I like to start a fire with pine or spruce and then top it up with birch after that when it gets going, or mix them all from the start. So from that point of view, it really isn't such a bad thing that I mix the species in the stack right from the start. I would just have found it a little bit fun to keep track of the amounts of firewood I cut from each type of wood. Well, maybe next time I'll just do that calculation on site out in the forest. Kid's asleep. try and keep it quiet now. It's the second trip to fetch the firewood at Jonas's place. I was hoping to get it all done during the weekend, but I'm doing it after work today. And Jonas is working from home. That's his sawmill you hear in the background. So, no time to waste. Let's go. I'm spotted by the dog. She's the youngest one. She's not quite familiar with me yet. Lovis! Kom då! No chance. Kom då. Ska du få en pinne då? Här. Pinne. It's a mixture of goat willow and aspen in this first row between the two pines. Behind the second pine there's only birch. It's a bit damp on the top because it's been raining a bit, but it seems to be fairly dry when I get down a little bit. And since I'm restocking it at home, it will dry up nicely. We still have pretty warm weather here, even though it's the middle of September. That's the first row. So that's all the aspen and goat willow. Now for some birch. Starting to get the hang of this prototype firewood carrier. I fill it half full, sort of. I stack it half full and then I hold it in the handles with one hand and top it up with the other. Otherwise it's a bit hard to bring it together. I will probably develop this a little bit further. For now though, it's doing a pretty decent job, I think. I tossed it together really quickly before I went here on the first trip, just to have something to carry the firewood with. So it's just a piece of leftover tent fabric we had laying in the workshop and some leather straps that I actually already cut for something, some project that never happened, or just leftovers. It's a nice thing to have a house with all sorts of workshops. It's filling up nicely. Now I can take the opportunity to inspect whether my method of stacking it on top of branches and twigs on the ground worked or not. I haven't gotten it that high from the ground. A couple of inches, like 5-6 centimeters I guess. But from what I can see, even the bottom pieces are bone dry, or as dry as the rest of the stack. Firewood is never bone dry, but it has definitely dried sufficiently. So I don't think I will bother with anything more elaborate for next season. I will just keep doing this so I get some use out of all the small branches and twigs too, that are too small to make into firewood. Right, that's it. Last little run, then I can drive this little load back to the house and stack it there. See you back at the house. My fiance's yoga class started today, so I'm accompanied by Samson when I unload and stack the firewood. Worked out last time, so I guess it will this time as well.
Ja.
Very tiring work, this. Most of the birch is stacked here now, so now it's mostly goat willow and aspen left in the van. The sun is beginning to set. I'm gonna try and finish this because I want to get inside before it's dark. And I guess Samson wants his bed. I'm trying to stick to the idea of putting the smaller stuff in the middle of the stack. It's not that easy, but it doesn't have to be that perfect either. As long as the outer edges are stable, then the stack will probably stay put. I must admit I feel a bit tired myself. First working, not a full day, I don't have time for that now, with a kid and this firewood that needs to get home, but a little bit more than half working day at least, and then going away, loading up the car and unloading and stacking now. I wouldn't mind a nap myself. I'll try and make it an early night tonight, I think. Vaknar du? Det måste göras. Jag måste ha med det lite. Vi startar den. The sun is setting quickly now. I'm trying to work fast, but I can't rush this too much because then the whole stack can collapse and I have to do it all over again. Okay, now I'm going for the final run. Ja, nästan klart. Oj, oj, oj. Ja. That's it for tonight. A bit later than I was expecting, or later than I prefer, but now it's done. It's not really that bad. Perhaps the camera makes it look a bit darker than it actually is. But it's dark enough. Days are short now. The evenings come quickly. Well, I have to shoot the final scene here by our door where there is some light. That's all the firewood I made at our friend Jonas's place, and also the small stack of goat willow I had down by our gravel road here at home. What remains now is probably quite a bit more than what I brought home so far, and that's all my small stacks up in the woods here. And there is some difficult terrain involved to get it back home, so there would be some work before I'm done with that. Anyway, so far I have a little stack behind our shed that measures about 110 centimeters by 140, and then it's 120, and that is 43 inches by 55 inches by 47 inches. Not sure what it is in feet. I'll do a little bit more thorough measuring and calculation when I have all the firewood down, stacked and ready. And then we'll see how much I managed to make this season. Anyway, for me and Samson, it is good night now. And the owls agree. Don't know if you heard that. When the owls come out, then it's definitely time to go inside and finish your day. So, good night. I'm glad you was. There it is. I really like that little owl. Anyway, it's good night for me and Samson. Thanks for watching again, and please come back for the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you then. Bye.